Resolution, resolving your force. Do you understand the concept, boys? Resolving the force. Do you understand the concept? I'm asking you, should I redo this? Should I redo this? What is happening for 11B?
No.
Okay, fine. Fine, boys. So we started with work is equal to Fs cos theta, where theta is the angle between your force vector and your displacement vector. Was all your 1 mark question, right, will be based on the types of work. Work can be positive, negative, and zero. Very important concept as a 1 mark question or as a reasoning based question. So theta is the angle between force vector and displacement vector. Now your work can be classified, work done can be classified as positive, it can be classified as negative, it can be classified as zero. Now mathematically, how can we classify the work as positive, negative, and zero? Now look at this value of theta. Suppose if you are applying the first one, I'm talking about positive work. Right? I'm talking about positive work. Now, if I'm applying a force on a body, say along positive x-axis, if the body is undergoing displacement along the same, okay, along the same direction, you're applying a force and the body is also moving in the same direction, then the angle between the force and the displacement vector is 0 degrees. Then work done, which is equal to Fs cos 0. So work done will be equal to F into S because cos 0 is equal to 1. So this is called a positive work. So what is positive work? When the body begins to move along the direction of the force applied, then the angle between the force and the displacement vector is 0. Work done will be positive. So now next case, when work, you want to copy down? Copy down, boys. Work done, you can go for this work done. You just write positive, negative, and 0. So the first one is positive work. The first one will be your positive work.
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide 1 second?
If I go, then I think so I cannot erase. I'll finish this and I'll move back, right?
Okay, ma'am, fine.
Boys, copy down. Copy down this one, which is highlighted, work done, positive, negative, and 0. So under that, we'll go for positive work.
Ma'am, why is work Fs cos theta?
This doubt what you have, as well as someone asked me for the previous slide. When I go for the previous slide, I'll redo that. Why it is cos theta.
Ma'am, it's Fs cos theta because it's horizontal component, right?
Yeah,
So,
because work is force into displacement. The body moves in the direction of the force applied. So if your displacement is along x-axis, then the component of F along the horizontal should be taken into consideration. If you want, your F can be classified as F cos theta and F sin theta, right? In which direction the body is moving, right? Positive x-axis. So the component of the force which is along the direction of motion should be taken into consideration. The body is moving horizontally. Is the body moving vertically up? Is your body moving vertically up? No, the body is moving. See, this is the condition, boys. Look at this. You have a wooden block, say, lying on a surface. You're tying it to a string and then you're dragging it. You're applying a force and trying to drag the wooden block. Right? So now the wooden block starts to move in the horizontal direction. Is this picture clear? You have a block which is lying on a floor. You're tying a string to the block and then you're dragging. See, you can drag the object in two different ways. One is you can just pull it horizontally. But now, how is your applied force? Your applied force is making some angle with the horizontal, right? It's an angular force. So in that case, you are resolving your force into two vectors, F sine theta and F cos theta. F cos theta is lying along the direction of the motion of the object. This is the direction of the body horizontally. So that is the reason the component of the force which is lying along the direction of motion is taken into consideration. Is this clear, boys?
Ma'am,
11B?
so F sine theta doesn't have any effect.
No, it will not have any effect.
Okay.
The body is not moving up. Is the body moving up? When you're pulling a cart, right, which is lying on the floor, is the cart moving up? No, it's moving along the ground. So the component of the force which is acting along the ground should be taken into consideration. It depends upon how the body is going to move. It depends upon how the body is going to move.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
now what is this? Like, is it negative or zero?
Which
or
one?
something else?
No, no, I'll do.
The one.
Wait, boys, I'll do. Complete this.
Prasanna, she was explaining the formula again that she did in the last class. That thing.
Oh, okay.
Boys, I think the initial concept might be difficult till we reach your integral calculus part. Once we reach your integral calculus, then things will be easy in this chapter. Only the first beginning part might be tough for you. So positive work, shall I remove, sorry, shall I erase the positive work? Boys, shall we go for the negative work? So I'll go for the negative work. Second one, negative work. All right. Suppose I'm applying a force along, say, positive x direction. Your body is moving along the opposite direction. This is S vector, this is your force vector. Like when you apply your brakes, naturally the body will, or recoil of a gun. The bullet is moving forward, the gun is recoiling backward. So in such cases, when you apply a force in forward direction, but the body moves in the opposite direction, then the angle between force vector and displacement vector, look at the angle, 180 degrees. Theta becomes 180 degree. Then W is equal to Fs cos 180. So cos 180 is -1. So W becomes equal to minus F into S. Are you clear? Cos 180 is -1. So this is what we call it as negative work. We'll see examples later on from your textbook. I think so you have to now classify. There are examples where you have to classify positive, negative, and zero work. Boys, have you completed this?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go for zero work. Shall I go for zero work?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Zero work is very, very important. It might come. The question is, what is the work done by the Earth on a satellite revolving around it? What is the work done by the sun on the planets revolving around it? Right? In all circular motion, the work done, right, by the earth on the moon, or by the sun on the planets, or by the earth on a satellite is zero. Now we'll see why is the work done to be zero. Suppose, say a satellite, actually it's an elliptical orbit, but we'll take a special case of your ellipse as circle. Suppose a satellite, okay, I'll take this. A satellite is revolving around the earth in an orbit, right? Now this will be the direction of motion of the, this will be the direction of motion, I can say it's not the displacement. It will be the direction of motion of the satellite. At every point, whenever a body moves in a circular path, at every point the body wants to fly away. So the direction of motion is always tangential to the path. But what happens is that the earth is applying a force. Right? That is what we call it as the centripetal force. So now look at the direction of motion and the direction of the force. What is the angle between them? What is the angle between them?
90 degrees round.
90 degrees. So then what happens to work done? Work done will be Fs cos 90. Cos 90 is always 0. So work done will be equal to 0. Though force is applied on the satellite, though the satellite is in motion, but still work done is equal to 0. Right? Forces are being applied. It doesn't mean there is no force. A force is acting on the satellite. The satellite is still is undergoing a displacement, but still the work done is said to be 0. The reason is the angle between the force vector and the displacement vector is always 90 degrees. So this is how you classify work as positive, negative, and 0.
Ma'am, so work is 0. Is it only for circular motion?
Not necessary for circular motion, boys. It will be not necessary for the circular motion wherever your force vector and displacement. Suppose, I think in 9th grade, you have heard about this. A person lifts a box or a luggage and he tries to walk along the road. Are you clear, boys? He's lifting say a wooden block, and then he starts moving. The person lifts a wooden block, so the direction of the force is acting upward. He lifts a wooden block. Say the wooden block was lying on the ground. He applies a force against the gravitational force because your weight is acting vertically downward. So he applies a force, right, in lifting the block. So he has applied a force and lifted the box, and then he starts moving. When he starts moving, look at the angle between the direction of motion and the force. What is the angle between them?
It's
90 degrees. Even in this case, work done is 0. So are you clear, boys? A block was lying on the ground. 9th grade, you have learned all this concept. I thought people are very well versed with this. A
Ma'am,
block is, yes,
like
boss?
lifting a block means we have done a work, right?
Yeah, you have done a work
No,
against
it's
the
like,
gravitational force, right?
but like other teachers were like, they said it's not a work. Like lifting only a motion is a work in physics.
Ma'am,
See,
but
when you,
you're lifting
But there's
upwards.
displacement, right?
yeah,
Ma'am, if the object's being lifted, then there's displacement, right?
see, the displacement is virtually, the object is not really moving, right? You're moving, along with you, the object is also moving. See, when you sit in a train, when the body, say the train is moving, but you are at rest. Inside the train, you are at rest. But for another passenger who is looking on the platform, for him, you are in motion. Okay, have you learned about gravitational potential energy? Did you study about gravitational potential energy?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am,
9th grade, you have gravitational potential energy. Okay,
I
right.
don't remember.
Someone, I think so. Now someone asked this doubt. You have been taught that When there is no displacement, there is no work. Someone asked me this doubt. Just
Yes,
come.
ma'am.
Yeah, okay. It's Prasanna, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, you are asking me, you have applied a force when there is no motion. Yeah. When there is no motion, work done is zero. This is a example of you apply a force on the wall is not moving, then the work done is zero. That is a different case. But here you have lifted an object, but you're not at rest. You have lifted an object and then you're moving. Are you clear? Now you have applied a force against gravity. At every point the gravity is acting on the block, but you have applied a force, either that should be greater than the gravitational force or at least equal to the gravitational force. You have applied a force and this force is acting vertically upward and then you're moving. Are you clear, boys? So which means literally the object is also in motion. At every point there is a force which is acting on the body in the upward direction as well as in the downward direction, because downward force is your gravitational force, but the person who is carrying the block has applied a force against this gravitational force. So the force is acting vertically upward. Literally, the body is moving along with the person who is carrying it. It's not actually the body is in motion.
Ma'am?
The body is
Ma'am,
yes.
so the work is zero in this case. Like
Yes,
you
this
said,
case work is zero. In this case also the work is zero. We have to analyze, boys. So that is why whenever you go for the conceptual based question, your formula of mathematical expression becomes very helpful. In certain case, it doesn't look like logic. There might not be some logic. See, have you heard about this one Bose postulate in chemistry? Bose atomic model. Electrons are revolving around the Earth. Sorry. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Yes or no? Yes, boys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The nucleus is applying a force on the electron. So when a force is applied, will not the body get accelerated? When you apply a force, the electron should get accelerated, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All accelerating body should radiate energy. They lose energy. So when the body is accelerated, actually what happens is it radiates energy. It loses its energy. If the electron, which is revolving around the nucleus, nuclear force is applied on it. That's the reason it experiences centripetal force and revolves. Now what happens, since it is experiencing a force, it gets accelerated. If it accelerates, it should radiate energy. So if it radiates energy, then finally what will happen is the new electron has to collapse into the nucleus. Is this happening? Is this happening? No. Is this happening in your atom model? No. Why? Have you studied the second postulates of your Bohr's atom model?
Ma'am, it's because only in some n values it can.
Yeah. So, have you heard about stationary orbits or permissible orbits? So, electrons can revolve only in those allowed permissible orbits where it will not radiate energy. If it doesn't radiate energy, then it will not collapse into the nucleus. That is, those levels are called as S. You have all the K, L, M, different levels you have, right, boys? Anyway, that relates to chemistry. So this is how you have to learn, boys. New concepts will be introduced. What you learned in your grade 9 was your basics. Shall I go for the, yes? Shall I go
Ma'am,
for the yes.
you said that when the body is being carried, the work will be zero, like when the person is moving forward. But
Wait.
when the body is on the ground and when we lift it up, then will the work be zero? Like just when we're lifting it up.
Work will be work against gravitational force will be negative. When you are
Negative.
standing and lifting an object, we'll see, boys. Next, I'll come back for all the example questions where you'll understand much better. Now, just concentrate on positive work, negative work, zero work. Let us get into the different scenarios, then you'll understand. Shall I move for the next slide? Boss, shall I move for the next slide?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Someone can you answer this? work done by a man in lifting a bucket out of a well by means of a rope tied to the bucket. Is this work positive, negative, or zero? Now I'll call someone.
Ma'am, these are textbook questions, or do we have to write them?
No, textbook question.
Okay, ma'am.
It's a textbook question. I am not very sure. 1 second. I'll see question number so that you can write the question number. Can someone tell me the first one? What will be the work done?
Ma'am, you're inaudible.
Okay, fine. Boys, this is 6.1. 6.1, the first question of your textbook. Okay. So you can write just 6.1 and then write the subdivision. Fine, I'll call.
Ma'am, it's
No,
positive.
write this.
Harish? No, don't
Work
write.
done is
Boys,
positive.
write. Okay.
In the positive direction.
Okay, Harish, what will be the work done by a man in lifting a bucket out of the well?
Positive.
Positive. That will be positive. Now, why? The reason is, boys, suppose.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Sorry, ma'am. What should you do? Like I got disconnected.
What you do is just write textbook numerical 6.1. Then for write subdivision A, only the answer is enough, boys, because you can refer to your textbook, or else
Okay.
it takes a lot of time.
Ma'am,
Only the
question.
answer. Question need not, because you can
No,
refer your.
ma'am, I have a question.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am, if it were a pulley, then it would be negative, right?
In case if you go this way, right, you are here this is force. If you are taking the other side, then it will be negative. So we'll not take that side of it. What we'll do is that you have a bucket. Look at this, boys, right? The bucket is moving upward. That is how you pull water from a well using your bucket. The bucket is moving upward because there is a force which is acting, pulling the bucket in the upward direction. So both the force and the displacement of your bucket are in the upward direction. So the work done will be positive. Force and displacement are in the same direction. But when you talk about the other side of the pulley, that is, you are applying a force in the downward direction, bucket is moving in the upward direction. If you take that scenario, in that case, work done will be negative. Okay, now work done by the gravitational force. In the above case, what is the above case? Your bucket, yes. Listen, boys. The bucket is moving in which direction? The bucket is moving upward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In which direction is the gravitational force acting? Gravitational force is nothing but the weight of the bucket. In which direction? This is the upward motion, right? In which direction the gravitational force is acting? Around? The weight of the body is acting. See, the weight of the body is your gravitational force. In which direction the weight of the bucket is acting? Vertically downward. You understand, boys? Whether you stand or whether you sit, right? Your weight, the force exerted by the earth on you is your weight. So that is what we call it as the gravitational force. The earth is trying to pull you down equal to your own weight. So the gravitational force is going to act in the downward direction. I'll put this gravitational force. Okay, now you tell me whether the work done is positive or negative. This is the direction of your gravitational force. The body is moving upward. The gravitational force is pulling the body downwards.
So it's negative.
Negative. So your negative. The direction of force vertically downward, displacement vertically upward are opposite to each other. Hence, the work done is negative. Why 11B? After your vacation, this class
Yes,
is
ma'am, we
become
understand. We understand. Ma'am. It's fine. We don't have any data. So required.
Shall I go for the next one? Shall I go for the next one?
Okay.
Joe Paul. Joe Paul. Work
Yes,
done
ma'am.
by friction. Work done by friction on a body sliding down an inclined plane. So let us draw the inclined plane. Right. When I keep an object on an inclined plane, when it is moving, it is naturally it will move in the downward direction by its own weight. In which direction the frictional force is acting?
Ma'am, negative.
Oh. So always, whenever frictional force comes into play, then the work done by the frictional force is always negative, because the body, if a body moves downwards, your frictional force will always act in the opposite direction. So work done by your frictional force is negative, since the direction of the frictional force is opposite to the direction of the motion. Boys, if at all such question happens to be tested in your examination, please understand 1 mark question, half a mark for negative, half a mark for writing the reason. Are you clear, boys? If you just write negative, you will get only half a mark. Is that clear? Might be in case if it is fill in the blanks, or it might be MCQ, you can go for negative. But if it is a statement based question, then negative half a mark, the reason half a mark. Then work done by an applied force on a body moving on a rough horizontal plane. Here the body is moving on a rough horizontal plane with uniform velocity. So the body is moving horizontally. The applied force is in the same direction. So what will be the work done? What will be the work done, boys? Your force, no, applied force, positive. So work done will be positive, because the applied force acts in the direction of the motion of the body. Then now look at this simple pendulum. Fine, boys. So when the pendulum is oscillating, right? So now this is a direction of the motion of your pendulum. See, you would have seen that when you make a pendulum to oscillate, it oscillates, finally it comes to rest. The reason is there is always a frictional force provided by air. That's the reason, because of air friction, the pendulum comes to rest. So your air molecules will be acting, or your air friction will be always acting in a direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the pendulum. That's the case. That's the reason eventually your pendulum comes to rest. Or else, if there is no friction, if you conduct this experiment in, say, in vacuum, once it gets, the pendulum gets swinging, it keeps on swinging. Now, do you have an idea if the experimental setup is taken to space, how the object would have moved? How the pendulum would have swung?
Pendulum
One
won't move.
push and
Is it an
circular
oscillatory motion? It's a circular motion, yes.
The pendulum
Yes.
won't move because there's no gravity to hold the bob down.
No, once you set in motion, it will move in the circular path. Check, boys. If you have time, just check. I'm not going into that. I'm just asking you. So work done by the resistive force is force of air on vibrating pendulum in bringing it to rest is negative, because the direction of motion and the direction of air friction are opposite to each other. Fine, boys.
Amma,
Yes.
Amma, can
Yes,
you
yes.
repeat the pendulum thing?
No, pendulum. Look at the question, bringing it to rest. So your force of air is making the object to come to rest.
Oh, yes,
Then
ma'am,
this
I got that. Like, what about that vacuum thing you were telling about it?
Boys, I just ask questions just out of your syllabus. If you have time, just go through it, boys. Because I have to complete
Now,
my.
what was the question?
Now, if you make a pendulum to oscillate, take the experimental setup to space and see how it is moving. It will not be an oscillatory motion. Just check, boys, if you have time.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine, boys. Now look at this. You have started with work, right?
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide for a minute? Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Boys, we started with this work done by a constant force. How to calculate the work done by a force acting on a body? We used the mathematical expression W is equal to Fs cos theta. Now the question is there any other method to find the work done apart from your mathematical expression? Is if you plot a graph between force and the displacement, then the area under the graph gives you the work done. You can find the work done by a force on a body in two different ways. Two different ways. One is using the mathematical expression W is equal to Fs cos theta. The other one will be force versus displacement graph, right? So can someone answer me? It is Jatin. What can you say about the nature of the force? Look at the graph. Look at the force displacement graph. What can you state about the nature of the force?
Ma'am,
Is
it's a
your
uniform force.
Yeah, because it becomes equal to 5. That's why it is a constant force. So boys, what you can do is that work done is equal to area of force displacement graph. Force versus, just make a note of it, that's enough. So work done is equal to area of force displacement graph. Completed? Shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
The textbook question, please copy down the question and the graph. Actually, you need to plot the graph, but I'm giving you the graph itself. The question is about plot the graph, but still let the graph be given, then we'll analyze this. Write down the question, boys. A woman pushes a trunk on a platform which has a rough surface. She applies a force of 100 Newton over a distance of 10 meters. Anyway, I'll explain the graph, then we'll move on. Now look at this, boys. A woman pushes a trunk on a railway platform which has a rough surface. She applies a force of 100 Newton over a distance of 10 meters. So say the object was initially at point A. The object was initially at point A. The person has applied a force of 100 Newton, right? And then the object has moved along the path. This is a force versus a displacement graph, boys. So at point A, the person has applied a force on the body. So the body has moved to a distance of 10 meters. So all along A to B, the body is experiencing a force of 100 Newton. And when it reaches the point B, it has traveled a distance of 10 meters. That is the first part of your question. Now look at the second part of the question. She gets progressively tired and her applied force reduces linearly with distance to 50 Newton. So at point B, right? So when the body has traveled a distance of 10 meter, the person has become tired so that her applied force keeps on decreasing linearly. So the decrease in force is represented by the line BC. So at point B, the force is 100 Newton. At point A, the force is 100 Newton. So the person has applied a force of 100 Newton and pushed the body to a distance of 10 meter. Once the body reaches point B, the person becomes tired so that the applied force keeps on getting reduced and reaches 50 Newton at point C, right? Now, the total distance traveled by the body is 20 meters. So from B to C, the force has been decreasing and reaches 50 Newton. At point C, the body has traveled a distance of 20 meters. Are you clear with the question? Boys, 11B?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Plot the force applied by the women and the frictional force, which is 50 Newton versus displacement. Yes?
Should we write the question?
You need to write the question. You need to plot the graph, boys.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now the question is calculate the net work done by both the forces. So you have to calculate the work done by the applied force as well as the work done by the frictional force.
Ma'am, ma'am, the trunk stops moving because the frictional force is equal to the force applied.
Correct.
Okay.
So the question should be written as well as the graph. I think it's time up. So I'll take the last period, boys, because we'll focus more on numericals. Clear? You need not worry. Sixth period will not be much of theory because I have to complete this numerical and then a bit of theory and then we'll move on to the numerical part. Or else it will be tough for you to learn physics.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Now, what's the portion for PT2?
This topic is included. One more topic is there that we'll finish by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. By Wednesday, we'll complete the topics for your half-yearly examination.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you can leave, boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys. You can leave.